I had to stay with my friend after I gave birth and I'm getting a lot of hate because of it. I 25F recently had a daughter with my husband. The second day after I gave birth he kept trying to initiate sex and I kept telling him no since my body wasn't strong enough for it. He kept getting more angry and I feared for my daughter's safety. My husband went to the store so I called my friend and asked him if I could stay with him since I didn't feel safe around my husband. About 15 minutes later he showed up and helped me to the car. Last night I was talking on the phone with my sister and told her what happened. She said that I shouldn't have done this and that I need to go back to my husband. I woke up to a bunch of messages from people asking why I'm cheating on my husband and a bunch of other similar comments. It's really stressing me out. What should I do? Edit, he was being aggressive, which is why I was scared and my friend was my best option for escape.
How can you cheat on your husband when it is too painful to have sex at all? You know you didn't cheat. It is their problem if they want to be upset about it. Maybe you should stay with your friend until everyone else calms down, especially with your baby.
First of all, having sex after 2 days delivering a baby isn't good at all. Your body needs to heal. I don't know if your husband knows, but the nurses and doctors will tell you no sex for 8 weeks. So ignore all the messages from family and friends. Get a divorce.
You did the right thing. He cares more about his member than about your health. That is a huge red flag. I would take some time to seriously consider if you want a future with this person. Know your worth. And congratulations, mama.
You owe this man nothing. Take screenshots and start building a case ahead of your divorce. Go NC, but don't block him. You can use it as evidence if he leaves abusive messages and blows up your phone, etc. I don't think I had sex till 4 months postpartum. I had an elective C-section and wanted to be on the safe side. I've read so many stories about abusive husbands demanding sex right after birth. It's selfish and disgusting. You've just given birth. The only thing likely to arouse you is the thought of a night of unbroken sleep. You've absolutely done right here. Props to you for getting your baby out of there, too.
This fucker is a sadistic poss. Women can't have sex that soon. WTFF, he'll kill you with an infection FFS. I know a girl who died this way. She was basically forced by her husband to have sex within a week or so of birth and she got an infection and died when her son was about 15 days old. Please leave him. He'll kill you. Fuck what people say or think, they're just white noise. Turn SM off and stay away.
Divorce your husband, ignore your ignorant family, block the people harassing you over your phone.
The fact that Op hasn't asked her family for help is telling enough. She does not owe them any explanation. Often having children close together, like 9 months to a year apart, is a classic sign of domestic abuse. The man both wants to keep the woman pregnant and he forces her to have sex before she's ready. So your husband sounds pretty classic abuser. People often just parrot these stupid things, stay with the kid's dad, try to make it work, without knowing what they're talking about or the abuse the mom is enduring. Sometimes the people around us don't have the best advice, particularly when things are really bad. You're a badass for getting your newborn and getting out of there. That's some serious survival skills at work. That was brave and strong and smart. Keep listening to the part of you told you to do that. Op, there are so many horrible comments on this post questioning your actions and I just wanted to offer some support. At 2 days after giving birth, most women can't even pee without pain, let alone have sex. You did the right thing going to a safe space, and anyone who criticizes the friend you stayed with is trying to cause problems. The fact that your soon-to-be ex-husband wasn't present for the birth and had no concern for the trauma your body has been through is all of the information you need. I hope you follow through with the divorce and work on building a support system for a new life with your daughter. Also, the people saying, maybe he didn't know, to your husband wanting sex 2 days postpartum are probably teenagers or incels that have no idea how the female body works and are definitely not equipped to provide relationship advice. Stay strong.
Your husband is a douche. Does he not realize how long it takes to heal after having a baby? At the very least it's 6 weeks, and even then some women still need more time. Selfish bastard. Secondly, if you feel unsafe from your husband, then you have every right to distance yourself from him, no matter what anyone else says. You don't have to explain yourself to anyone. Take the baby and run, sis. And lawyer up too.
You married a douche. Get him a fleshlight and a dildo. If he doesn't like the fleshlight, he can go fuck himself.
Divorce time. Screw your husband.
Wow, stay away from your husband and ignore all the idiots saying you did wrong. Definitely time to find a lawyer.
As a mom of 2, who the fuck can have sex days after giving birth? I couldn't shit for 2 weeks because of the pain. Weeks later when I finally had sex, it felt like steel pipe being shoved in and out of a raw wound.
Even if you were completely healthy, you shouldn't have to be harassed and pushed into sex. Any sort of coercion is abuse, and doing it after you've just given birth is even more disgusting. Don't let anyone push you into going back, and make sure that anyone victim blaming knows exactly why you left. Edit spelling.
What a loser. You can't have sex for at least 6 weeks after birth.
You, Ebby 45 op said she's ready for divorce, but she's definitely leaving an abusive situation and only days, maybe a week or 2 now, postpartum. If it's not too much trouble, do you think you could hook her up with some resources?
6 weeks ale. She just gave birth to your child. Let her heal. He should be waiting on you hand and foot. Sorry you gotta put up with that.
Your husband is probably lying about you to turn everyone against you. Send out a text to your family and friends explaining the situation. If they don't support you, that's a huge red flag.
If it means anything, I have never heard of a man asking for sex from a woman who is 2 days post-delivery. Never. I mean, how idiotic and just grossly out of his mind selfish is he? How could anyone be with him? He goes to the bar while you're giving birth? I want to vomit and then gather my strength to punch his lights out for you. And I'm not a violent person at all. But he's just so beyond even being a human. Glad you're divorcing him. If this is just a window into his behavior, I'm sure he's got many other stellar qualities. Get far away from this stain. Also, please listen to user Ebby45. She is very experienced in counseling all kinds of abusive and traumatic situations. Hugs.
Anybody that messaged you something like that is not your friend. If this was my friend and I heard something had happened, I would simply message saying, "Hey, I'm not sure what is going on, but I hope you are okay and I'm here if you need." Anyone that doesn't know you well enough to know you wouldn't be behaving like that without reason doesn't deserve your time or effort. Turn off your phone and focus on giving you and your baby the best you can right now.
Don't any of the people who contacted you know you had a baby a few days ago? His behavior is horrible, yet he got people to believe he is being cheated on. It doesn't make sense. Also, do you have any family? Don't they want to see your child? Please do what others have suggested and get your story heard. Everyone will know he is awful. I am glad you are going to divorce him. Please take care of yourself and your precious child. Greater than I woke up to a bunch of messages from people asking why I'm cheating on my husband. Cheating on your husband meaning, being rested, recovered, healed and having sex within 48 hours of giving birth. Reite.
Greater than the second day after I gave birth, he kept trying to initiate sex and I kept telling him no since my body wasn't strong enough for it. He kept getting more angry and I feared for my daughter's safety. Holy fuck, that is bizarre. I feel like there has to be a lot more to this situation and guy if he is doing that sort of shit. Are you sure there aren't other obvious red flags about this guy? Who the fuck does this? Just throw him away, you and your baby deserve better.
I'm sorry you're dealing with all this, but you did all the right things. Tune out the toxic people and focus on resting and enjoying your new baby. The important things will be with you long after this commotion.
Honest question for the people who keep telling Op that she's wrong for seeking safety from her male friend simply because he is a male. If Op left her home with her newborn baby because she physically could not have sex with her husband, how could she cheat on her husband with the male friend? Assuming that she could physically have intercourse, when would she do so with a newborn? 2 days post-delivery, you are bleeding from your vagina, leaking milk from your breasts and everything from the neck down is swollen and painful. Your brain and body are exhausted. Safety is safety. I personally have very few people that I could make this phone call to, all of them male. I would sleep with 0 of those guys. We have been platonic friends since we were in grade school, and have been well through my marriage. The consensus that women cannot be trusted with men that aren't their husbands is why no one wants to be with you.
Your husband is sick and controlling. Lawyer up. It's gonna be a ride, but you'll get through it. You have friends, and even if your family and others doesn't understand ever, you'll make it. I believe in you, you are strong.
If your friends think you really can have sex 2 days after giving a birth, they're quite delusional. And male. Or childless female. Honey. If you feel safer, then fuck everyone else's opinions. Please listen to yourself. You felt so scared that you obviously felt things could get physical or more abusive, so you did what you had to protect your child. I would not return without marriage counseling.
Probably fake. Again. This sub attracts fake stories.
I'm so glad you have a friend you can trust. It sucks that your sister would say that to you. Don't let them get to you, cause you're definitely doing the right thing for you both. Wishing you and your baby girl lots of strength and love.
You're surrounded by idiots. Your husband was told of the restrictions for sex after giving birth, I'm sure. 6 weeks to give your body a chance to heal. It's beyond stupid of your family to claim you are cheating when the reason you left is because your husband was trying to force sex on you. Like you'd go have sex with someone else after running from it? Tell your husband you'll come back only if he agrees to wait for the remainder of the 6 weeks to have sex. If he still has a problem with it, then you have a bigger one than you realized. In America, husbands can still be charged with rape, so that's something he should consider if this is where you live. Good luck to you.
Your husband is not a safe person for you to be around. Any man that demands sex 24 hours after you give birth is an awful person. You are at risk of hemorrhage, infection, any other complications. Don't listen to your sister, she is just as horrid as your husband. You need a safe haven and counseling for domestic violence. Just because you aren't being hit does not mean you aren't being abused. For future reference, it's hard to give any advice when you're being so vague. You're dropping a lot of dog whistle phrases: aggressive, angry, feared for my daughter, scared, don't feel safe, etc. None of those tell us anything about what happened. You're giving us your reaction, without saying what the actual actions were.
You did nothing wrong. How a person handles a no says a lot about their character. And the people giving you crap for wanting to be safe from your terrible husband are showing you their true colors. If it's on social media, get rid of it. You can always get a new account later on when you're ready, and when you know who your real friends are. Focus on yourself and your baby. That's all that matters. I'm sorry your husband turned out to be such a horrible person. But your baby is lucky to have such a strong mother, who is willing to do anything to keep her baby safe. I also recommend legal advice for help with the divorce process and custody. Stay strong. You can do this. I believe in you. Look after yourself, sweetheart, you did the right thing.
My ex-husband forced me to have sex with him after my C-section. It caused me to have internal damage, stitches became infected, and I needed to go on several medications to stop the infection. You absolutely did the right thing, and I wish I had left when my situation happened. Never question your motive. He needs to back the fuck off, and I think you need to do some heavy thinking on what your expectations are in this relationship, if there is one after this. Your safety and baby's safety is all that matter. Everyone else can fuck off. Stay safe.
Divorce immediately. He has no right to pressure you for sex with or without pushing out a baby 2 days ago. His behaviors will get worse and may even get violent. Go girl. You and your child deserve safety and love.
Multi-paragraph answer not needed. You know. You posted this because you know. You need to leave for good, it's over.
Don't let this son of a b gaslight you, or anyone else. He sounds like he's an abusive type. Leave him. For your child's safety and yours.
I've read enough to make me say just how much of a douchebag that husband is. He's not even worthy of being called a husband, he acts like a teenage guy who's only concerned with his own needs and pleasure. 1. He was at the pub during OP's labor ACCDG to one of her comments because he didn't wanna hear screams. 2. Wants to have sex immediately after his wife delivered their daughter. Dude, this guy is nothing but a sex-crazed monster who has no respect, love, let alone empathy, towards his wife. If you truly love someone, or at least if you're human, you won't do something that could hurt or even kill your wife. Seriously, I feel like he doesn't even have an ounce of concern for OP. Sounds like an abusive, narcissist psychopath to me. To OP, please do everything you can to keep you and your daughter's life safe, away from that abuser. We never know what he could do in the future. I won't even be surprised if he'd attempt to abuse your daughter later on.
Either he with you for sex or there's something else. Go to marriage counseling or something. This isn't normal and I'm 15 and I know that 2 days after giving birth and him wanting sex I think something will break inside or something. Your body can't handle it. It at least take a few weeks to mouth to heal. Divorce him. Your husband is an awful man.
What kind of drama is this? Block everyone's number who suggested you go back to your husband. No yelling. Block and no contact. File a restraining order. Get a lawyer and get the divorce rolling. Get a therapist and start your neglected work. You've got to for yourself kid sake. What's the financial plan for supporting this kid? Another reason to get a lawyer. Moving aggressively to garnish wages and get child support.
Your husband actually wanted sex with you 2 days after you gave birth. Not 2 weeks. Did you write this correctly? That's gross. Is it even possible that soon? He would essentially be doing it with an open wound. There is something very wrong with the man you married. He sounds like a pervert. How did you marry this man? Did you find the missing link between man and ape? You have a true friend there. Your husband is in the wrong here, and that needs to be communicated.
Well, sorry but your husband is a selfish puss who doesn't give a damn fluff about you. Trust your guts, fuck the others who don't believe you. If he's aggressive, just leave. Who knows what he could do to you? You just gave birth and all he thinks about is sex. WTF.
I don't give a shit, leave his stupid selfish ass. They tell you no sex for 8 weeks to both new parents for risk of infection to your cervix and because it'll just be goddamn painful as fuck to the new mom and this cunt is going to ignore you and the doctor and demand sex? Show his dick the door and hopefully he'll be smart enough to put that together and fucking leave.